Hey everybody, Charles Calhoun, aka the Shade Tree Pro, here in my little office where, I haven't shot a video in a while, but I'm going to shoot this video because I want to talk about something. Now, I'm in the process of creating my fifth book, which, like I said, I have four. Three of them are published. I have one of my my putting book published, but I actually took that down. That's just, I keep that for personal for me. Too bad, so sad, but that's personally for me. I don't want to give nothing away putting. But anyway, my next book that I'm coming out with is the Shade Tree Pros Top Down Stack and Shift. Now, you already know that I've got the book out there, The Dead Fingers and Middle Wrists, as well as I got Golf Set Up for Success, and as I said, Golf Grip for Success. But the main ones that really get it kicking, because Golf Grip for Success is what led to the Dead Fingers, and Golf Setup for Success is just a different understanding to see how the body actually works in motion in comparison to the traditional way, which is just upper body and lower body. Now, here's where my concerns come in. You got places like the TPIs out there. You've got places like Golf Athletic Motion, which is right down the road from me, and all these different, science-based places that's out there. Now, I used to have debates with individuals that used to say things to me, why argue what can be measured? And I would always say, okay, then let's measure. And I'm not talking about what measuring what Charles is doing or anything like that, because as I said, I'm no different than the rest of the science people that's out there, all the same. My job's not to go out and shoot 65. I've done it many times in my life, in comparison to a lot of them that, that teach and talk about what the golf swing is and ain't never did it before. So there's the thing. So my development of the work and the movements and all of this is science based on basically for me studying or developing the three body, upper body, middle body, lower body, as well as the dead fingers grip and all these little serendipitous things that's been developed behind it. So if we're going to make the argument, then let's measure. Then my thing is this, then why are you not measuring what the dead finger? I got it in a book. So I'm trying to find out why the TPIs, why the athletic golf motions and all these people that's supposed to be the science-based people, then why aren't they measuring the validity of, let's say, my Dead Fingers book? Why aren't they measuring the validity of my three bodies, upper body and middle body, where the shoulder girdle was a separate entity from the body cavity? Now, I just saw Golf Athletic Motion do a video where they were talking about three different flaws, and one of those flaws they were talking about sticking something underneath their arms and talking about how that's not a good drill to do. Well, it's not a good drill. Absolutely it isn't. For the simple fact is because the shoulder girdle is a separate entity from the body cavity, only connected to the body cavity at the SC joints by the collarbones. And when you stick something underneath your arm, you're actually creating a disconnection instead of connection. Now, the guys even went as far as saying that, well, it may be good for wedges or to get that feeling. No, to tell the truth, when you do and stick something under your arms with wedges, it's probably the worst thing you can do, because the wedge swing in itself is more of basically as I call it, the upper body of a good arm swing. It's a good scapula to scap drop arm swing where you get control, where the body stays basically stationary, no different if we were in a bunker. That's kind of how you can hit those controlled shots. But everybody's trying to pivot and do certain things and sticking it under their arms to need to pivot. So my argument is still this. If we're going to base it on science, whether it's the USGA, whether it's the PGA Tour, whether it's the Golf Channel, which something I'm continuously seeing on the Golf Channel on Peacock to this day, but I'm trying to understand, if I'm putting the work in, but yet, whether you like the way I approach certain things, that ain't got nothing to do. How you sell and make your money is fine and dandy. But how I sell and make my money that's what I have to do to make mine. But at the end of the day, everything should be about the work. And then when I say something about it, in essence, to where we're always arguing about, hey, that bruh's talking about they don't get the opportunities or something of that nature. Well, to some degree, there is when it comes to it like this. When we're doing the work, and then when the work is complete and we try to present the work to you, and then you're unwilling to accept it, then that right there is what leads to us having to do certain things, or having to call it, a duck a duck, or a crocodile. We have to call these things out, because you cannot sit there and say that it's based on science and then you refuse to be able to take the science or put the science to the test. And the dead fingers, I think it will stand up to the scrutiny of any scientific evidence-based information, as well as the three bodies. So all I'm saying is this: if the information is there and the work is there, then first, personally, because I'm the author of it and I'm the writer of it, will give me the opportunity to be wrong, no different than you're giving the rest. Because if I'm wrong, then show the science and prove to the people that I'm wrong with what I'm saying. But if I'm right, then show the people for the information as what it is, at the quality of the information that it is. And then that in itself helps the game. Because when you don't represent the information that's out there, then I have to think in some way, shape, or form, there's some nefariousness that's going on behind it. So that's just the bottom line. So if we're going to be fair, then let's lay it all out on the table and let's be fair. If dead fingers is not what it's meant to be, you got all the science, you got all the information out there. I've mentioned some of those places. I put it to the test. If the three bodies, upper body, middle body, is not what it meant to be in comparison to the traditional upper body and lower body, if three body can't stand on what it is, then put it out there and let the people know. Tell them, let them know that I'm incorrect in what I'm doing. I got big pants on. I can handle it. But I don't think that's going to happen. And the way that I'm looking at things, I think it's not going to happen. I'm sorry, people, but, as I continue this work, please understand, people, I already got a voice. You can't silence me. It's never going to happen, because I know this game so well that I know at the end of the day, it only boils down, can you do what you say? And my top-down swing system and philosophy, and now my book that's soon to be coming out somewhere towards the end of the fall or in the winter, but definitely before the PGA show, Shade Tree Pros, top-down, stack and shift. I mean, it's a game changer, because it is full of information that gives all you out there in your biomechanics world, it gives you the opportunity to learn how to, what some new information to measure. And if you see me hit a golf ball, and I know many of you have, then it speaks for itself. And I promise you, the movements, the mindsets that I have, I'm just not doing what a lot of people think that I'm doing. The actions that I'm doing, it is conducive of what I made based on a lot of stuff that you may see throughout this room. The movements that I create using the Shade Tree Pro swing system and philosophy, top down. So people, as we say, fair is fair. And if you want to be honest and you want to be real, then like I said, I got stuff that's worthy of being measured all the same. And if you're not measuring it, then you're not being fair, not only to yourself to learn to get better, but you're not being fair to the golfing community and the golfing world. And if you're saying that the information and you're not willing to, like I said, to take on new information that possibly may have the ability to make this game simpler and easier for the people out there, then you're being dishonest and you're not being honest to the public. This is Charles Calhoun, a.k.a. the Shade Tree Pro. People, you all know, I just tell it like it is. You know how I say it, baby. Always good golfing.